Today, we're diving into a fascinating paradox, the challenge of offering unconditional love when you don't love yourself. We'll explore why this dynamic is so common, what it does to our relationships, and how to break free from this cycle.
This is such a crucial topic because it touches on something many people experience but rarely discuss openly.
Right? And it's not just about relationships, it's about our entire approach to love and self-worth. What exactly happens when someone tries to give unconditional love while struggling with self-love?
Well, according to recent psychological research, it often creates a dangerous imbalance. When someone lacks self-love, their attempt at unconditional love can actually mask codependency.
Codependency? That's a heavy term. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. Codependency is what psychologists call a relationship addiction, where one person becomes another's caretaker or fixer. They often have this deep need to be needed.
Oh, wow. That hits close to home for many people, I bet.
Exactly. And here's what's fascinating. Research shows that people who struggle with low self-esteem often confuse codependency with unconditional love.
That's really interesting. How can someone tell the difference?
Well, true unconditional love involves accepting someone while maintaining healthy boundaries. Codependency, on the other hand, often means sacrificing your own well-being entirely.
Ah, so there's a fine line between loving someone unconditionally and losing yourself in the process.
Exactly. And you know what's really interesting? This pattern often starts early in life. Erich Fromm, a renowned psychoanalyst, studied how maternal love shapes our understanding of unconditional love.
Oh, tell me more about that connection.
Well, Fromm found that maternal love is naturally unconditional. A mother doesn't need her child to earn her love. But when someone grows up without experiencing that kind of acceptance, they might struggle with both giving and receiving love as adults.
That makes so much sense. And I imagine this affects how people approach romantic relationships?
Absolutely. Recent studies show that people with low self-esteem often feel most confused about themselves when they're in relationships.
Why is that?
They tend to be hypersensitive in intimate relationships, constantly guarding against exposing what they perceive as their weaknesses. They exert enormous energy trying to defend themselves from their own critical voice.
That sounds exhausting.
It really is. And here's something fascinating. Research shows that the brain's reward system actually lights up during unconditional love, similar to how it responds to addictive substances.
Wait, are you saying love can be literally addictive?
In a way, yes. Especially for someone who lacks self-love, the validation and purpose they get from caring for others can become almost like a drug.
That's pretty scary when you think about it.
It is. And it often creates this vicious cycle where the person giving unconditional love becomes more and more depleted, while their partner becomes increasingly dependent.
So how do we break this cycle?
The key is understanding that self-love isn't selfish. It's actually essential for healthy relationships.
Can you elaborate on that?
Research shows that self-love is about having a secure inner foundation. Think of it like putting on your own oxygen mask before helping others. It's not selfish, it's essential.
That's a really powerful metaphor.
And here's what's crucial. Self-love sets the standard for how others treat you. When you value yourself, you naturally attract relationships that reflect that same respect and care.
But isn't it hard to start loving yourself when you've never really done it before?
It absolutely is. But research shows that self-love can be developed through practice, just like any other skill.
What does that practice look like?
It starts with setting boundaries, understanding that it's okay to say no, to protect your emotional space, and to prioritize your well-being.
That sounds challenging for someone who's used to always putting others first.
It is, but it's necessary. Studies show that without healthy boundaries, relationships often become entangled in cycles of insecurity and unmet needs.
So boundaries are actually a form of love?
Exactly. They're a way of showing love both to yourself and others by creating space for healthy interaction.
That's really beautiful when you think about it.
And what's fascinating is that when you start setting healthy boundaries, it often improves communication in relationships too.
How so?
Well, research shows that people who practice self-love are better able to express their needs and listen to others without feeling threatened.
That makes a lot of sense. When you're secure in yourself, you don't take everything personally.
Exactly. And this is where the distinction between codependency and true unconditional love becomes clear.
Can you break that down?
True unconditional love comes from a place of fullness. You're giving from your overflow. Codependency comes from emptiness. You're giving to fill a void.
Oh, wow. That's really powerful.
And here's what's interesting. Psychologists have found that people who develop self-love often find their relationships becoming more balanced naturally.
Really? How does that work?
When you truly value yourself, you stop accepting less than you deserve. You naturally start attracting and maintaining healthier relationships.
That's fascinating. It's like self-love becomes this filter for relationships.
Exactly. And research shows it affects all types of relationships, romantic, friendships, family dynamics, everything.
So it really is the foundation for all healthy connections.
Absolutely. And what's remarkable is how this shift in self-perception can transform existing relationships too.
How so?
Well, when you start treating yourself with respect and kindness, you actually teach others how to treat you. It sets a new standard for interaction.
That's really empowering.
It is. And studies show that this kind of transformation often has a ripple effect, positively impacting not just you, but everyone around you.
So by loving ourselves, we're actually helping others too?
Exactly. It's like that saying about not being able to pour from an empty cup. Self-love fills your cup so you can truly be there for others.
This has been incredibly insightful. As we wrap up, what's the main takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
The key is understanding that true unconditional love must include yourself. It's not selfish, it's essential for creating healthy, sustainable relationships.
And it starts with learning to value yourself.
Exactly. Remember, you can't truly give what you don't have for yourself.